The world is changing right before our eyes in real time. Architecture provides a sense of grounding, and yet there are very few concrete things that we can hold on to without this feeling of imminent change. And once we become comfortable with that sense of change, we learn to become better designers. I'd like to begin a series of lessons that maybe help us gain some grounding and give us a series of tips and techniques and skills and ways of thinking about design that we can hold with us through our lifelong journey of becoming designers, especially architectural designers. I'm going to read a series of 101 lessons that I learned in architecture school. This book was given to me by my father, and I wanted to go through one lesson at a time with you and for you, as you may find yourselves out there in various states of change. I'd like to begin by reading the author's note, which is a very interesting, apropos statement about becoming an architect and becoming a designer. Certainties for architecture students are few. The architecture curriculum is a perplexing and unruly beast, involving long hours, dense texts, frequently obtuse instruction. If these lessons of architecture are fascinating, and they are also fraught with so many exceptions and caveats that students can easily wonder if there's anything concrete to learn about architecture at all. The nebulousness of architectural instruction is largely necessary, however. Architecture is, after all, a creative field, and it is understandably difficult for instructors of design to concretize lesson plans out of fear of imposing unnecessary limits on the creative process. The resulting open-endedness provides students a ride down many fascinating new avenues, but often with a feeling that architecture is built on quicksand rather than on solid earth. This is perhaps even more true of a feeling today, and so these lessons are meant to provide you with some of that sense of grounding. Lesson 1. How to draw a line. Architects use different lines for different purposes, but the line type most specific to architecture is drawn with an emphasis at the beginning and at the end. This practice anchors a line to the page, gives a drawing conviction and punch. If your lines trail off at the ends, your drawings will tend to look wimpy and vague. To train yourself to make strong lines, practice making a small blob or a kickback at the beginning and at every stroke. Overlap lines slightly where they meet. This will keep corners from looking inappropriately rounded. When sketching, don't feather and fuzz your way across the page. That is, don't make a vague-looking line out of many short overlapping segments. Instead, move your pencil from start to end in a controlled, fluid motion. You might find it helpful to draw a light guideline before drawing your final line. Don't erase your guidelines when the drawing is complete. They will lend it character and life. I think that the line is perhaps the most important mark of a designer. The line is the movement. It's the essence of construction. The line is to the designer as the number is to the mathematician, the plant to the biologist, the blood cell to the doctor. Where do your lines go? Lines create movement, structure, rhythm, the line is the very first beginning point of the creative process.